Welcome back, dear children. Today we are going to do the lesson Madame Curie. This lesson is in the form of a play, and so that is why they have given some characters: Marie Curie, Pierre Curie, Madame Jeliska, and 5 newspaper reporters. You can see the picture here, and this picture is of Madame Curie. Now, who was Madame Curie? I think all of you must have heard her name. She was a Nobel Prize winner, okay, and she discovered the metal radium, and for that she was given a Nobel Prize along with her husband Pierre Curie in 1903. But let me give you a brief introduction about Madame Curie. She was a Polish girl born in Poland, but she lived in France. She was a French citizen, but by birth, originally she was from Poland, which was a part of Russia, and that is why her name, the original name, was Mania Sklodowska. So Marie Curie, born Mania Sklodowska, was a simple and very humble woman who shook the world with her discovery of radium. She was awarded the Nobel Prize twice, okay, and she won it along with her husband Pierre Curie in 1903. Pierre Curie and Marie Curie both were scientists, physicists actually, and so this play is about the couple when they won the Nobel Prize, and how people, especially the reporters and other people, started coming to them and congratulating them. But these both Marie and Pierre were actually very humble people. They were always interested in doing their experiments, doing their research, rather than, they were not interested in people. They were more interested in their work. So that is all depicted in this short play, which is an actual dialogue. This actually has happened between the Curies, the husband and wife, as well as the reporters. So that is what is reported in this play. So let us begin with the play now. As the lights come on, a violent ringing of the doorbell is heard, and a very excited Madame Jeliska enters Pierre and Marie's home. So there was a ringing of the bell, and then an excited Madame Jeliska was actually their very close friend, and she was a designer also. So she enters Pierre and Marie's home very excitedly, and she says, Madame Jeliska, Mary. Mary enters the room. Oh, Mary, I heard. Where's Pierre? And then Pierre also enters. Oh, I am so thrilled. It's so wonderful. Unbelievable. Congratulations. Madame Jeliska hugs and kisses Mary and Pierre. And Mary then says, why, Madame Jeliska? Do tell us what you are so excited about. They didn't even know that they had won. They were not actually much interested in the prizes also. So Madame Jeliska, she says, Pierre and you have won the Nobel Prize for Physics this year. Oh, I'm so excited, and I know that Bronya and Casimir will be as excited as I am. So I ran to congratulate you on behalf of us all. And when are you leaving for Sweden? And all of you must be knowing that Sweden is a country where the Nobel Prizes are given. Okay, So people have to go there to collect the prizes. There is a big ceremony in which they are given the prizes. So it's a moment of actually great pride. But Pierre says, we are not going to Sweden, and what's more, now he wanted to say something, but Madame Deliska, she was shocked. Oh la la, not going to Sweden. Don't you want the King of Sweden to give you your medals? I don't mind accompanying you. She herself wanted to go with them so that she could attend that ceremony, that Nobel ceremony and the royal ceremony, which is conducted by the king himself. Then Mary says, oh, Madame Deliska, that is very kind of you, but we cannot leave Paris on 10th December. They even knew the date when the Nobel Prize was being given. So she said, I cannot leave Paris on 10th December. Then Pierre also says, we have postponed our trip and may go to Stockholm either during Easter or in June. So they had their own plans to go to Stockholm during the month of June. Easter is in April, okay, and or otherwise either in April or in June. So that way they are saying we can go there during Easter, not in December, but in April or in June. Then Madame Deliska, I am so disappointed. I had such dreams of designing Mary's new dress. And she is interrupted by another violent ring of the doorbell. Who can that be? Let me see. And she just ponders, who can that be? And then she opens the door and 5 newspaper reporters roughly push her aside. So they were not interested in the other people in the house. They were more interested in the husband and wife, Pierre and Marie Curie, who were the winners of the Nobel Prize that year. So reporter 1, we want to speak to Monsieur and Madame Curie. I am from Echo de Paris. So that was the name of the newspaper, Echo de Paris. Reporter 2, I represent the Paris Daily. Reporter 3, I am from the Times. Reporter 4, the Guardian. And reporter 5, the Washington Post. So that is somebody from the USA. We would like to speak to the Curies. The Curies means both the husband and the wife. Now Madame Deliska says she was flustered. Like she didn't like the way the 5 reporters entered the house without permission and all. And they said, oh yes. But she was happy to see that people have come to take interviews of the Curies. So she turns around to find that Mary and Pierre have disappeared. They even went away seeing the reporters. They didn't even want to meet the reporters much. Where are you, Mary and Pierre? Oh, so you are newspaper reporters. Wait. Okay, so she told them to wait. And as the reporter takes her picture, wait a minute, young man. How dare you take my picture or my photograph when I'm not properly dressed? So she was actually a woman who was very conscious about her looks and how she wanted to present herself to the world. So that is why she said, just wait a minute. How dare you take my photograph when I'm not properly dressed? Let me just give myself some finishing touches. Let me do my hair or whatever. The ladies always want to get their photographs clicked in the best, to show themselves in the best manner. So reporter says, who are you, madam? Reporter 2 says, how are you related to the Curies? Reporter 3 asked, isn't this a rather simple house? And reporter 4, may we take some photographs? And they continue to click away. So they started clicking away the photographs of the house only. And the reporter 3 then said, when are the Curies leaving for Stockholm? Now Stockholm is actually the capital of Sweden. So that is why they were interested in knowing when are the Curies going to go to Sweden. Madame Deliska now says, they are not leaving. The reporter 4, asked, why not? Reporter 3, they don't like Swedish gold medals? So he was surprised that these scientists don't like the medals, the gold medals which are given. Then the reporter 2 says, looking around the house, one would think that the Curies could definitely use the prize money. Now when they looked around the house was quite simple. It was not a very lavishly decorated house. It was just a simple house. So he saw that these people can easily use the prize money to have a better house, bigger house and a better lavish house. So he said they could definitely use the prize money to deck up their house. And the reporter, 5th reporter, he asked, well, old lady, who are you? The grandma? Now comes the final this thing. The lady was called the grandma. That is very humiliating for a woman. And the other, the Liska said, old lady? Grandma? Who? Me? Get out. Get out, you good for nothing. And get out of the house. So she started shouting. She did not like how the reporters had called her old lady and grandma. Pierre and Mary enter. So in the meantime, when she started shouting at them, Pierre and Mary enter. Ah, thank God, here you are, Pierre and Mary. So she says, thank God you are here now, you only deal with these reporters. Then Pierre says, well, messieurs, what can we do for you? Reporter 1, he says, first of all, we would like some photographs of you and your home. Pierre said, I suppose you will take the photographs, whether we like it or not. So he said, see, even if I say no, you are going to take the photographs. Whether I like it or not, you will still take. So you can take. And the reporters do what they want. That means they took the photographs. Then the second reporter asked, can you answer some questions? Pierre's answer was, very briefly. Means I will answer, but I will answer in very brief manner. I am not going to elaborate on anything. Then reporter 3. Why did you and your wife work in a shed while discovering radium? Now these people did not have a proper laboratory actually. So that is why they had to work in a shed. And so they gave the answer. Mary said, we didn't have a laboratory and that is why we used our shed to do our experiments. Then the reporter 4. Why don't you patent the technique of isolating radium? The patent means was what? Patenting something means you have the sole right to make or to use or sell something. Okay, patent. So many things in this world are patented because they are the first ones to either make that particular thing or product or use or sell it. Okay. So because we don't believe in patenting scientific knowledge, and see both these husband and wife had the same nature also, same behavior. They said because we don't believe in patenting scientific knowledge. Scientific knowledge is for everybody. We have discovered, we have found something and we are sharing it with the world. And I don't want to make the world pay me for that, what I have researched or what I have found out. Okay, so the third reporter says, oh, you must be very rich then. You don't need the money. So the third reporter gave a sarcastic remark to them. He said, you must be very rich then. Who doesn't want money? So he said, you don't want the money which was supposed to be earned by this patenting. Then Mary said, you can answer that question yourself. She said, I don't have any answer for this. You can answer that question yourself. You can see and guess how much money we have. Then the first reporter asked, I believe you have a daughter. Yes, Marie Curie answered very straightforwardly. Then the second reporter asked, how old is she? Now this question disturbed her. She said, that question is totally irrelevant. We will only answer questions regarding our work. So she did not want to answer any of the questions regarding her personal life or about her family. She said that question is totally irrelevant. Irrelevant means it had no concern with the Nobel Prize or their scientific research. The third reporter said, Oh, everyone knows about your work. We would like to have the inside story. And they said ki everybody knows about your work, so why should we talk about the work that the whole world knows now, that you have discovered the radium and how you went about it, all those things. But we would like to have the inside story, means something more personal, something which is inside your house. And then Pierre Curie, he got actually furious, he got angry, he said, what nonsense. And then the fifth reporter, he said, come on, give us a break. We would like to know something about the psychology of a woman devoted to research. So then he tried to pacify him, and he said, come on, give us a break. Means you just give us a break. Give us something which is new and which is not known to anybody. And we would like to know something about the psychology of a woman devoted to research. That means they wanted to know more about the behavior or the nature of Marie Curie, his wife. Then the first reporter said, your likes and dislikes. Now again, something which is personal. Then Pierre, he said very straightforwardly again, well, first of all, we are almost fanatical about our privacy. We like to be left totally alone to do our work in peace. So first thing, the thing was that they liked their privacy very much. They didn't want to have anything, or they didn't have anything known to the world, or they didn't want to be publicly known as such. They wanted to be left alone and let them do their work in peace. So fanatical. Now what is this word? Fanatical means something which is to the point of craziness. Okay, when you think about something in a very crazy manner, when you are talking, suppose we have the religious fanatics, means people when they think about the religion in a fanatic manner, means they are totally they go crazy when they can do any kind of violence also when they are talking about or protecting their religion. So sometimes we face this religious fanaticism. That term you will be using or you'll be coming across when you grow up, and it is very common in our country also, religious fanaticism. But here these scientists, they were using this word fanatical, just telling them that we strongly believe, we strongly feel very protective about our privacy. We don't want our privacy to be disturbed or to be encroached upon in any manner. So they straightforwardly told the reporters that we will not answer any questions which will be related to their own personal life. And then the reporter fifth again wanted to know. This is the reporter from the Washington Post. Now come on, madam, tell us how you managed to be a good wife and mother. Doesn't your husband object to your being away in the laboratory, away from your child and home? So he again wanted to know how they manage between work and home, especially the lady, Madame Curie, and even he wanted to know whether her husband objected to her being away in the laboratory and away from her daughter, away from her child and even the home. And Mary said, Monsieur, I find your question and your curiosity highly impertinent and distasteful. Scientists must be interested in things, not in people. So finally she gave the answer which actually made the reporters actually keep quiet for a time. She said, I find your question and your curiosity highly impertinent. Now impertinent is actually very rude or disrespectful. Means how can you talk about these things to me? And she also gave the reason. She said scientists actually must be interested in things, not in people. So please don't ask us such silly questions and such distasteful things. We don't like talking about such things. And Pierre also supported his wife And he said, I totally agree with my wife. So, gentlemen, I must ask you to leave. Okay, so he just told them, you all can leave now, and we are finished with this today's interview. So he said, please, I agree with my wife, and I'm not going to answer any questions related to my family life and related to both of us. As scientists, you can ask us anything, but not as common people. Now, we'll be doing the lesson till here today. I'll be continuing the lesson in my next video from the same page, page number 77. Till then, goodbye from my side. Please watch the video and be prepared till I come with my next video. Bye all of you.